Hey, this is Captain Scott Walker, into Blue TV. Today I'm going to take a few minutes to talk about taking your family fishing. My first experience with taking my daughter fishing happened right here at Hawks Cay on the dock right beside of us. We were done from a long day of work, had a couple of scraps left, and I grabbed the smallest yellowtail pole we had on the boat, put a little hunk of fish on it, and we dropped it over the side, and boom, my daughter had her first mangrove snapper. Her eyes lit up. It was the most priceless moment I ever had fishing, and I've had a lot of moments of fishing. But it's all about family. If your family enjoys fishing with you, you get to fish more, and they get to spend more quality time with you on the water. Getting the boat ready to take the family fishing is a lot less stressful than trying to get ready for a charter, because it's an intimate moment between you, your wife, daughter, son, brothers, sisters, moms, and dads. It's one-on-one, and it can be so exciting because you can go minimal. And when I say minimal, the rods and reels don't have to be expensive. The tackle doesn't have to be complex. It's as simple as having a few dropper rigs, fish finders with a lead of different variety sizes, with a little barrel swivel, piece of 20-pound test to a J-hook, a 5-gallon bucket full of shrimp, and a couple blocks of chum. Whenever you throw a chum bag over in the Florida Keys, within a few minutes, something's going to be nibbling out of that bag. It might not be a trophy marlin, obviously, but it could be a beautiful snapper of any kind. Our varieties of yellowtails, mangroves, grunts, porgies, and then mutton snappers and groupers. It all comes to the chum bag. And that becomes the center of the universe behind your boat. Then what we're going to do with that? We want to keep everyone involved. Everyone, even if they don't feel like holding a pole. My daughter gets a little tired. She wants to sit down. And then that's maybe when seasickness sets in. You've got to find another job. Even the menial tasks will keep someone occupied enough to forget about the seas and kind of get involved with the rest of the anglers on board. We've got the chum bag over. We're taking whole shrimp, half shrimp, put them on our J-hook and dropping them straight into the bag, and we're getting a variety of bites. They might not be trophies, but they're probably edible, and if they're legal, we're going to bring them in. So have somebody in charge of dipping them out of the water. You can flip them in with the rod, but if you want to keep everybody invested, take a few minutes, get a nice dip net, and actually have someone dedicated to actually just dipping the fish out of the water. You'll watch everyone. It's almost as exciting for someone to dip a fish out of the water as to holding the pole and catch it themselves. I've seen it a million times. As long as somebody has a job and a chore, it becomes something for them to concentrate on, and they want to do it, and they want to do it well. It's an awesome way to keep everybody involved. From it's simple as just having one of the kids put the next block of chum in the chum bag. They get dedicated, they open the box of chum, they put it overboard, and then they secure the garbage in a 5-gallon bucket to take back to the dock. But it's the littlest things you wouldn't think matter really are important when you just want to get everyone involved. And when everyone's involved, everyone's having a really good time. Once we get on board and everybody has decided where they're going to be sitting, it's important to take a few minutes and go through the boat. And if you want to take the kids with you, or even your wife, or anyone in the family, just let them know where the safety equipment is. It doesn't seem like much, but it gives them something to concentrate on again. They feel like, all right, in case of emergency, I know what I can do to help. I know where the life jackets are. I know where a 5-gallon bucket is. I know where different things are on board that aren't necessarily where you can see them. Again, it gives us something to think about, takes their mind off the ocean, and it keeps them focused on the task at hand. And that's going out fishing, grabbing a pole, catching some fish, and having a lot of fun. Now, it's super important that the kids wear a life jacket on a day at sea, especially if they can't swim, or even if they can swim. You want to make sure their life jackets are on. I know they're bulky, and I know they're going to complain a little bit, but it's also important to teach them why it's important. And then if they start thinking about, okay, if it's that important, I'll get over this uncomfortable feeling of wearing a life jacket. You know, and every day's different. If it's slick calm and you're near shore and your child's a good swimmer, maybe you can pop it off for a little while, but that's up to mom and dad to decide, not for me. I make sure that everyone's wearing a life jacket after they've never been fishing before. Taking the family fishing doesn't have to be expensive. Again, I find it the simplest of tasks make the job easier for me, and a better catch, a better experience. There's three go-to rigs for just messing around. You've got the standard fish finder rig, a hook, barrel swivel, lead of variety sizes, and when I say variety sizes, when you drop your anchor, the current can be going stronger or lighter, and you just adjust your weights from ½ ounce up to 2 ounces. And whatever will get you straight down near the chum bag is the weight you want to tie on that particular day. That is the go-to rig. And if you want to make it even easier, you can just get rid of that. If the fish are a little spooky, you just go to a weighted hook, a little jig. Throw your shrimp on there or a piece of cut bait, and these come in a variety of sizes from 1/16 of an ounce to 1 ounce. And you just keep a variety of sizes. And again, the jig works just as good as anything, and it's just 1 knot. And then if the fishing is a little deeper than you like, we go to a real heavy jig, bucktail. You can put a shrimp tail on that. You put a strip of ballyhoo, a strip of a squid, and this will get down quicker than anything else and usually come up with quite a variety of fish. This is really going to be something working the bottom for your groupers and mutton snappers. Again, you can get 3 or 4 of these in different sizes, a couple different bags of jig heads, and then loose leads, and a little bag of barrel swivels to keep the lead from sliding down your hook. Chum bags are in all our local tackle stores, and your local Western Marine carries different size chum bags. When I say size, it's holes. You have fine holes, medium holes, and giant holes. Typically for snapper fishing, you want a medium to large hole so that chum really gets out of the bag, and you know it's the right size when at the end of the day there's no chum left in your bag. That's great for snapper fishing. If you want to catch bait fish, you want smaller holes, you just want the oil coming out. You don't want a lot of chum going because that brings yellowtails and that slows down your ballyhoo fishing. I find that needle nose pliers are a must with chids. They're going to be catching a lot of little snappers that are too small to keep, and you're going to have to get the hook out of them, and a good quality pair of needle nose goes a long way to having a fun experience and not getting bit. Organization is the key. A couple of Rubbermaids or Plano boxes with a variety of hooks, leads, swivels, keeps everything in one localized area where the wind can't blow it overboard. Good pair of needle nose pliers, chum bag, and here you go. That's all it takes to have a really nice day with your family. Make sure you have enough chum for as long as you'll be out there, at least 2 blocks an hour. I would never go out there with at least 10 dozen shrimp. You're not going to come back with any. Anytime a shrimp goes overboard in Florida Keys, it comes up either with a fish on the hook or an empty hook. So basically, if you want to take your family fishing, it doesn't have to be a scary event. It's actually going to be something that you'll never forget. You know, getting the family on the boat's usually the easy part. Keeping them entertained is the hard part. Kids today have a lot of options, and it's hard to keep their attention, especially when it's fishing, when you're waiting on a bite. So I make it a habit to spend the downtime teaching the kids how to tie a knot, how to properly put the bait on the hook by themselves. There's a lot of ooh, ooh, ooh when they're grabbing a live shrimp, but after a while it becomes a game for them, and they can get pretty prolific at it quickly. But again, don't complicate things. Just have them learn 1 knot, the fisherman knot. 6 times up through the hole. Pull it tight, and that's going to catch every fish on this light tackle. And it's a knot that they can remember, they can practice. I usually leave an extra leader on the chair anywhere where we're fishing for the people that kind of run out of enthusiasm, and I give them a little bit oversized hook, and I let them practice that knot all day long. And that just keeps them focused on the task at hand, that they don't have time to start, they're wandering off to where's my Game Boy, where's my phone. Give them something to do, either give them a pole, teach them how to set the drag. I mean, that's important. I mean, it seems like something you do with our eyes closed, but teaching a kid how to set the drag and use the drag is huge. And they'll want to do it right, and they want to do it better, and they're going to practice. Teach them how a reel works, the bail opening and closing, how to turn the handle properly, and actually hold the rod properly. There's a lot of people that have come in from up north and want to start doing this, and you know, even as an adult, you have to say, listen, that is not how the reel works. Here's how to do it properly. Teach the kids how to do it, and they'll pass it on to their friends and probably even their parents that sometimes don't want to listen. Once you lay the base fundamentals down of fishing, it can only go up from there. They're going to want to catch more fish and bigger fish. And that's when it really gets fun. That's when you can really get off the anchor and then start drifting the wrecks from mutton snappers putting the kites up for the sails, loading up bait fish and rolling out to the humps. Once everyone's got their sea legs under them and they just want to get bigger and badder, all I can tell you is my personal experience. My daughter caught her first mangrove snapper right here and her first 18-pound mutton 3 miles out there. She's caught tuna. She's been with me to Mexico. She's caught marlin and sails, and we don't get to spend as much time together anymore, but when we do, it's always, Daddy, let's go fishing. And when you hear that, you win. There's no better experience than actually making memories with your family. And thanks to West Marine and their dedicated associates, whatever you need, they'll have to make your day on the water a huge success.